Hey, everybody. Ty Mark, I'm glad that you made it. Hey, Liz Tricks. Pat Jonas, yes. Happy 50th birthday to Lydia Krause today. I'm hoping that she'll jump in, but I don't know what time zone since she's across the pond. But if she catches this on the replay, I really wanted to make sure that we told Seamus that we told her happy birthday. Hey, Heather Rhodes. Hey, Tammy. Heather Landau. Liz R. Sherry LeBrun. Tiffinisms. Marie Marion made it. Hey, Buffy. Kestrel. Shell, thank you for being here. Hey, Jolie. There she is. Happy 50th birthday, everybody, to Lydia Krause. I love that. I'm glad that you made it, girl. I love you. Hey, Anita Card. Hey, Old Charlie. Amanda Deer. Dawn Davies. Marissa Martin. Squirrel Girl. Naomi Hales. Thank you, mods. Llama Lisa. Hello, my Danish friend. Rachel Sandy. Catherine B. Love you, Catherine B. Hey, Jen Pookie. Laura Isaac. Meredith Lynn. Stella made it. Hey, Julie. Hey, Rogue Hedgie. Drive-In Fan. Susan P. Love you, girl. Caroline in Canada. Hey, babe. Stella, it's an off day for me, guys. It's an off day. Hey, Jinjin89. Critters Creations. You're very welcome. I tried to respond to quite a few emails and messages. Hey, Gemini Girl. Hey, Armine. Laura Isaac. These cats are going to make me crazy. Downs Mom. Hey, Becky. Renee B. I'm sorry to hear that, Renee B. You had a bad work day. Hey, Lacey Silver. And I'm sorry to hear that, Lydia. You had a bad evening, but you have made it all better. Okay, well, I hope we have, girl. Hey, SPTV watcher. Lurker checking in. I love that. Hey, Sarah from Cali. Debbie Zito. I need a pedicure so bad. It's weird that you brought that up. I was thinking that today, looking at my toes. I was like, I can do better than this. I need to do better than this. DS Kitty Diane. EKP 13. NJS 55. Christy Kitts. Hey, Tony's Hooter. Hey, Cheryl. Tallulah. Jessica West. Mama Smurf. Thank you for saying that, Armina. Hey, Dawn. That crazy Canuck. Help your sis with wedding stuff. That's nice. Hey, Robin W. I'm happy to see you. Hey, Rose. Llama Lisa. Thank you. I don't feel like I look great at all. I did not sleep hardly at all last night. And I'm not having a great day mentally, honestly. Hey, DNV. Laura Isaac, thank you for checking in and speaking out. You're a lurker. Hey, Anita. I love that. Yes, Tammy, that's so true. That's good, Buffy, and I hope you get one. Your birthday is on Tuesday, right? The 25th. I remember. Hey, I live for now. Libby Jackson. Ty Mark. Thanks for replying to my message about scheduling. I mean it. You're very welcome. I try, guys. I really try. Nobody feel left out. I was literally making lunch today, standing over the stove, stirring something, voice to texting, all your guys' messages, because I want to catch up. It's just I get really behind. Hey, Adele. Buffy, okay, good. I got that right. Thank you, Downs Mom. Hey, Rhoda. Muffet Lou, welcome. I think it's possible that we have done a lot of work in the last, couple of weeks. Thank you, Robin Miners. We've done a lot of mental, right? I think I got to be honest. Hey, Steph. Hey, Katie Much. Do you guys think we've kind of uncovered more stuff in the last few weeks than we have in a long time? I mean, that's what this channel is about, right? We uncover things, we examine them, we figure things out, which is great. But I feel like we've really, really plowed through some heavy stuff. Thank you, Ty Mark. Hey, Kim is Blue. Good advice, Old Charlie. I think that we have really Yeah, everybody's agreeing. And hey, Linda McMillan, it just seems like we have, you seem to be agreeing with me. It seems like we have really uncovered and examined some things more, hey, Lumen, than we have in a while, Laura Isaac. Yeah, really, we've really dug in lately. Why don't you sit up here? Why don't you sit up here, though? Because you're really tiny. Hey, Lori Lee. And I don't know. Today was a tough day, and I'm assuming that, yeah, we've covered a lot of ground, Charlie, and I'm assuming that today just felt heavy to me. It felt like, have I done too much almost, which is saying a lot because I'm a Cancer sign and I cannot dissect things enough. I overthink forever and ever. And I think it's gotten in the way of a lot of relationships, honestly, how much I overthink and over deal with things. Hey, Kim Hallman. And I don't know. I just felt like it was today was I feel very sluggish. And again, I'm not I'm not telling the whole story. I made a huge mistake. And I hear people say this word, and someone said it today. And hey, Ghostwriter, whenever I hear this word, it doesn't mean anything to me because I have no experience with it. This sounds lame, but I wish I had a glasses cleaner in here. I never use my shirt to clean my glasses. What is that? Okay. I never use this word because it means nothing to me. Hey, Yvonne. Hey, Laura Lou. Hangover. I've never been hungover. I don't want to say I've never drank. I've definitely tasted alcohol, but I've never gotten drunk before. So I know what hangover means. And so someone said it today. And I feel like, hey, Lynn Arundel, wow. I haven't seen you in a long time. And I don't know Casper's email. So I don't know that my mods will put it up. If she knows it, she can. It feels like, yeah, it's like burnout, emotional hangover. Yeah. So I feel like if this were the equivalent of maybe like waking up from being drunk, that's how I feel today. Very sluggish, I feel like I've seen too much. I feel like I did too much to harm and damage myself. I overdid it. Hey, Kim. Hey, Kaz. I broke my rule last night. And I watched some things that I shouldn't have, and read into some things I shouldn't have. And I'm not talking about like channels that don't like me or any of those platforms. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't look at that stuff. Hey, Wisconsin Barb. Hey, Wanda. Yeah, I feel that, Wanda, for sure. Hey, Joanne Palmer. And I wish I had not. Hey, Susie. And I had a really rough time sleeping. And yeah, Lynn, it's nice to see you. Hey, Candace, it's hard to, yeah, Debbie Zito. Yeah, it's hard to articulate it, but have you sat in your thoughts and cried? Yeah, a little bit, Time Mark, but I really haven't cried that much. I spoke with somebody today that said something to me. I'm trying to think. It was someone who emailed me, and now I can't remember because I've responded to so many messages today, but it was so smart. Who said that? Dang, I've answered too many messages. I couldn't even tell you. Somebody said, so I'm mad. I woke up upset today, right? Because I broke my rule. I looked at things I shouldn't have looked at. I listened to things I shouldn't have listened to. And it made me kind of feel like almost a relapse maybe situation of just I've been doing good. Hey, Michael Malloy Show. And I think I woke up upset that I'm not more in an advanced state. Hey, Audrey, of the healing, right? And I was mad at myself for that. There's nobody to be mad at except me. And somebody I was emailing with, messaging with, said something that was really something I've not considered, but it is so accurate. She said, you are used to the Scientology group think of, and this is very accurate when it comes to Scientologists, get over it. Get over it. No H, E, and R. So no human emotion and reaction. So if your spouse died in a car wreck, if your mother died, anything like that, super heavy, right? Like a real loss, you are to handle that real fast. Like, I mean, real fast, like kind of an overnight deal, and get back on post, get back in session, get back on course, get back to producing. And that is the mindset, very much, very much. Like, get your TRs in and get back to it. We need to clear planet Earth, kind of a thing. But it is true that there is no H, E, and R. So I think, yeah, DP in Tennessee is so right about this, but I hate saying that. I like that, Wig. You were raised in a mind controlling cult. You don't know what normal is. Just try to learn, love you. And as you become more of who you were meant to be, love her too. Thank you. And I love that message, but I hate that. I hate being Karen Johnston. Thank you so much for coming out of lurker mode. You look beautiful. You are an inspiration to many. You keep doing you. Karen, thank you. That's so kind. Lumen, I get it. Lumen says you're being too hard on yourself, but this person that messaged me that is spot on. And I was going to say, I don't like you guys know this weird, it's a victim thing. We're trained. Victim is a really bad thing in Scientology. So I've always hated that word. And I've kind of always hated that mentality of like, well, I'm acting this way because, hey, Anna Banana, I don't like that. To me, that's just not good enough. Work harder. I don't like it. And I'm not saying I'm right by saying that. Please don't get mad at me. But oh my God, Tiffinisms, congratulations. That's amazing. Hey, Bumblebee is an ex-Scientologist too. I can relate to that. Empathy for herself and for others is seen as a weakness. Absolutely, Bumblebee. And I'm sorry that you're an ex-Scientologist. That sucks. But it's the truth. And so I really hate that. I really hate that my behavior is to blame because of the cult. There's so much truth to that. Hey, Panda, there's so much truth to that. But to me, that's not good enough. I don't want to blame my behavior on something else, but it's also in the same sentence, it's the truth. You know, I mean, there's nothing else I can say. I was raised on that mentality. So it's not even blaming, it's just the way it is. Right. I mean, there's really, when you think about it that way, there is no way of putting it. It's just the way it is. Hey, Ellie, I exercise every day, Ellie. I walk. Claire says the stuff you have gone through lately is pretty fresh. It hasn't been that long. It takes some time. You are human. Thank you, Claire. And Michael Malloy Show, I normally do think positive, guys. I normally do. Today was a heavy day for me. Hey, Ozzy's mama. And you're right. I will have highs and lows, Ozzy's mama. Guys, this is all to be expected. I think this is unusual for me, though. I don't usually feel this way. I pull myself out of it. And I've been very positive, I feel like, also going through the motions and figuring things out. But yeah, that's true too, Timer. It's hard to process a heartbreak when you see the other person has moved on. Remember, it wasn't real. It makes it harder. Time Mark, that's true. Hey, Rain Virus, that's true. But that actually doesn't make me that sad, to be honest. I think that person moved on when we were together. Like, that part doesn't really make me that sad. Hey, better together. We understand you, cutie patootie friend tax. Thank you so much, babe. That's really nice of you. Thank you. I'm glad we talked today. Hey, Crystal Primo. Yeah, Laura Lou, I could see it that way. So thank you, Audrey. So hey, Anne. So when that person said that, I kind of compared that to how I was feeling today. It was the perfect message to say to me. I am trying to rush something. I'm really trying to rush something. Hey, Diana H. I think I'm trying to swim through this as fast as I possibly can. And yeah, Joanne Palmer for sure. And I think that that's the false. Um, Kestrel, who do you think? Kestrel, catch up with us. Hold on, guys. I'm going to ask Huxley something. The cats are super restless today. Um, it's just me trying to get through this as fast as I can because whoever sent that to me really put that into perspective. It is such a mindset in Scientology of it's lower toned stuff. It's like reactive mind, banky case stuff. When you're walking around in a funk, when you're sad about something, whether it be a breakup or a loss, an actual loss of a person, any of that. Time arc, because it's time arc says, why rush it? It's true because that's how I was brought up. You just you get your TRs in and you get back to post. You get back to what you're made to do, whether you're on staff or not. You just get back on post, whatever your post is. Hey, May Doolin. Oh, that's cute, Minnie Doolin. That's how you have always been. You want to learn or understand something right away. You are human and emotions are important to feel and move through. Yes, Robin. Crazy that I understand some of Scientology's now. Yeah, you should, Kim is Blue. I bet you do. Teresa, I'm happy to see you. I hope you're feeling good, girl. I just don't usually feel depressed. I don't usually feel depressed like this. Hey, baby steps. Hey, Brigida. And baby steps, I don't know what that means. Hey, Angie Mo. I love that. I love that time arc. I don't know. I think I also, like I say, I watched things and I listened to things that I shouldn't have. Susan P, you know what I'm talking about. Um, and I realized that today that this is not something I can rush. It's not. So then another friend messaged me. Oh, she's in the chat. I won't name you. I know who said this. Um, yes, Crystal, absolutely. I loved this. As a matter of fact, I won't say your name, babe. Don't worry. I'm not going to say Marsha, you're here on the live. Oh, but we can't see you. Why? Why is Marsha Laird? She's not blocked, but she cannot be seen in our chat. Hey, Holly Day, I don't get it. I love that, Teresa. I don't understand. Hey, Pepperoni Nips. Marsha, I don't get it. Does anybody know why that would be the case? I can't figure that out. I have checked and checked and checked. You are not blocked. It's some kind of a glitch. It's so weird. Okay, let me find it. So I'm going to read a shortened version of this, but I really reflected on this. Debbie Zito, you're absolutely right. Marsha Laird, I hate this. Marsha, it says, Marsha, you need to check your settings. Solo Traveler, welcome. Huxley, can you let your sister in my office, please? I know, Buffy. Okay, listen to this, you guys. This was an interesting piece of advice. Marsha, do you have an active YouTube account? Thanks, son.
Want me to leave it open?
Not really. Thank you. It's her YouTube settings. Okay. Hey, kid. It's our emotional support potato. Okay, listen to this, everybody. Sorry, I'm distracted. Listen to this because this is really interesting. She says, all settings have been checked. I don't know. Have her check her that she is not incognito mode. Hey, Rhonda McNeil. Marsha, check that. Joanne Hawley. Was it your birthday yesterday? No, it was Joanne Ventrilla. Nope, it was the other Joanne. YouTube Premium active, she says. What could it be? I wish we could fix this for Marsha. This is so frustrating. It's not a blocked situation. Kid, you're going to get your hair everywhere, girl. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Sorry for the distraction. Okay. Listen to this because I thought it was really fascinating. Would I want to date me right now? It's easy to stop working on ourselves if we focus on others like we were wired to. You are not doing anything wrong. Just a friend encouraging you to take the road less traveled. Hey, Yawn. I love that. Would I want to date? Not that I'm going to date. Hey, Christy, Lynn Wilson. No, that's not the point. Everybody's saying you might be in incognito mode. Turn it on and off again. It's only on your lives. All other lives people can see me, she says. I don't know, Marsha. Kid, you're being too much, girl. I do too, Lumen. Hey, Susie CJ. Yvonne, thank you. I do too. Hey, Lovey, I'm happy to share some time with you today on a live. Me too, Susie. Love you, babe. Thank you for your super chat. I'm happy that you're here. I don't know, everybody. It's so weird. No, Wilford Harry, she cannot type in the chat. That's true, Laura Lee. But she is not blocked on my channel. Hey, a Michigan troll. Scientology doesn't want people to get over stuff. They want them to shut their emotions off altogether. That's absolutely true. Yes. We are trained actually with TRs to not have emotions, for lack of a better concept. So there you are. Happy birthday, babe. I was looking for you yesterday. Joanne Ventrilla, happy birthday. Yeah, she can't type in the chat, everybody. I really like this. Would I want to date me right now? It's easy to stop working on ourselves if we focus on others like we are wired to. She may have her settings set to children's programs. I don't know. Has she tried using a browser to chat? I don't know. Apparently, Robin, she can get into every other chat except ours. I'm impressed how normal you guys are after this abuse. Are we, though, Emily Brooks? Are we? Hey, Kevin Conklin. Hey, Cindy. I'm happy to see you. Holly Day. Trisha Kelly. Yeah, Holly Day. It's so true. Hey, Ginger. Hey, Jellycats. It's so true. We are wired to focus on others, point the finger, all those things, right? Hey, Jenny Stout. And I was thinking about that today because today is kid hairs all over me. Today is main mom. I'm sure you're right. I know I have a problem with that word and I shouldn't. Today has been a particularly hard day for whatever reason. I mean, I kind of know because I kind of looked at some things I shouldn't have. Anita Card, you're right. I'm really scatterbrained. I've been scatterbrained all day. And I think that's the issue too. I can't turn it off. I feel like we have uncovered and dug up, hey, Janet, so many things lately, so many heavy things. I think the thing Thank you, Solo Traveler. Hey, Katie did it. Your growth is refreshing and inspiring. Reese, take it easy on yourself. I'm trying. Hey, Laura DePreet. Yeah, Susie, I'm sure that's true. Ghostwriter, it could be a PMS situation, but I don't think it's PMS. It's not a normal thing for me before my period. We've dug up some really heavy things, and I think I'm just really feeling the effects of that. And I need to feel it, right? Yes, Rose, I did. Yes. Kestrel, did you catch on with us? No, I did not read any hate about myself. That's not what I'm talking about, Audrey. I didn't go over to like Reddit or something like that. I don't do that. I'm not talking about channels that don't like me. I'm just saying I touched on something that I shouldn't have. I saw something that I knew I shouldn't have. You are perfectly imperfect, Reese, and those are the best gems to find, especially because you are open to polishing yourself and working on shining bright. That is very kind, Teresa, and thank you for saying that. Joanne says, Reese, give yourself a little grace. In the space of 2 years, you have got out of a cult, 2 abusive relationships. Lots of us would be curled up in a little ball, not wanting to move forward. Thank you for saying that, Joanne. Sabine, happy anniversary. Thank you. I live for now. Thanks, Lumen. Yeah, I agree. Right. Main mom, I totally agree. You need to change how you see the word victim. Scientology taught you that you're using it as an excuse. That is not the simple. I totally get that, main mom. Yeah. It's just taking some time for me to, hey, Dania, unlearn that word how I see it. That's all. And I'm not comfortable with that word yet. It's just not, but it's not shaming other people. It's just for me. It's just the way I was raised with that word. Kim, I'd rather not repeat it. Hey, Skyrider, good to see you, babe. Am I talking about the movie reference? What movie reference? And Rose, I don't know if we're on the same page either. It's my fault, guys. I'm being too vague. Yeah, you're doing what we all do, relive the past and try to figure out how we were so fooled. Steel Magnolias? No, I thought you were talking about on some other channel. No. Hey, Dotsy. The Big Lebowski. No. That advice was like, hey, I just got conned after Jesters, Fred, Scientology. Healthy men will allow you to heal. Okay, well, okay, so you're okay with, I wasn't going to out you, girl, that it was you that gave me that advice. Smellis didn't, Tommy didn't. You're vulnerable right now. We date people when they are healthy because that is healthy. And it was just such a good way to reflect when you said that to me, babe. That's all. Thank you for your super chat. Yes, you're absolutely right. And I think it's easier. Laura Lou, I'm kind of okay with that. I think it's easier to point the lens at others. And I think also, thank you, Tracy, Better Together. I think also the key thing that you said there for me and my way of operating typically is when I get out of a relationship, I kind of get into a new one pretty quickly. And how many of us have heard that? Hey, Mandy Albert, the best way to get out from under one is to get under somebody new, or some way of putting that, like date somebody new. No, that's really bad advice. Thank you, main mom. It's really bad advice. And while it's easier, like for me, yes, new life plan. For me, it would be much easier right now to go find a guy. That's what I've always done. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I know people are going to make fun of me for that. Hey, Heidi. But that is what is the easier path, right? Like, yeah, let's just focus on something new. That toy broke. Let's go get a new one. We'll replace that toy. Let's go get a new toy, right? Robin, is easier? Is it easier? It takes a special studying and skills. Thank you for validating it, Time Mark. How you have a good memory. How do you remember someone's real name and their YouTube name? It's tough, and I get really mad at you guys when you change your names because I'm like, nope, I had to memorize both your real name and your YouTube name. You better keep that shit from changing. Easier until they are a wild man doing wild shit again. Yeah. Thank you, Down's mom. It's true though. Thank you for your super chat, babe. It's true. It is easier. Maybe not for everybody. For me right now, it would be just so much easier to go meet someone, start flirting it up, and just cover up and bandage myself up and sweep everything under the rug and go, I'm a new person. Let's date. Like, no, there is so much what? I believe you are being messed with big time. I think it is all an act. Messed with how? What does that mean? Is there something I don't know? Positive life? That makes me uncomfortable. What do you mean by that? I'm not mad at you. What does that mean? Messed with? By whom? Yes, Jellycats. I agree with that. Yeah. And if you do, you will have all the old problems plus new problems. Yes. A lot of people do that. I don't because it takes me a while to feel strong enough to risk a heartbreak. Well, there's that too, Claire. But honestly, it's just easier. For me, it's just easier. Like I know I can go catch a guy. I know somebody will be into me. But the problem is you're still bleeding and you have all these wounds. And what I did last night, I picked the scab. Right? I'm keeping myself from healing. It's stupid. Hey, Lemster, it's a trap. Kestrel, it would be easier in the moment and harder later because dating now would keep you from doing Kestrel's exactly right. And I've never, I mean, this is where I'm like, I wouldn't trade. I'm glad where I am right now. I hear a lot of people say this, but like, I wouldn't want to go back and be 30 again. And I certainly wouldn't want to go back into my 20s. Hey, Molly, for that reason. Like the knowledge and the work that we've done and that I've gained now, I would not want to unlearn. I'm glad I know what I know, and I'm going to take my time in fixing myself and healing myself. I rushed through everything in my 20s and 30s, and now here we are. Think about that for a minute, everybody. Think about that with me. All this heavy stuff I've been carrying that we've unpacked, and you guys think about yours too. All of our loads, right, that we carry around just a sense I get. They are playing with your emotions. Great. I love that. I love when people play with my emotions. I have so much leeway there. Hey, happy birthday, Lemster. Lemster's 45, Lydia's 50. I love that. Think about that for a minute. All the heavy stuff that we've been carrying, probably since childhood, most of us, right? We've all had trauma, as adults as well. But let's just go back. Let's go back. And however old you are today, in this moment, we've been carrying it all this time. And that's why a lot of people say, I wouldn't want to go back into my 20s, wouldn't want to be 30 again. Why? Because of the experiences and all the things we've learned brought us to here in this moment right now. I'm not trying to go that deep with you, but it's an interesting way to look at things. What I know right now, I didn't know any of that before. And now that I know it, I really am glad that I do. Hey, Sarah. No, I have not. Some of us are wired to be strong and show a positive face to the world when going through trauma. So true. Sometimes even we have a pity party, feeling depressed and feeling we are going backwards. Been there, you'll get through it. That is so how I feel right now, Liz. Yeah, I don't know about the pity party part because again, that's not really ingrained in Scientologists either. I'm more like pull yourself up by your damn bootstraps and get over this. That's how I feel. Like get over this. Get over it. But I see what you're saying, Liz, and thank you for your super chat. That is so true. And we will get through it, guys. I'm not worried about that. Bumblebee, this is such a lovely community. Never doubt the positive impact you have by allowing yourself to be vulnerable. I love the willingness of so many here to do that human thing feel. I totally agree with that. And that's why almost every time I start a stream depressed, I come out of it so much better on the other end. Amanda, him, if that makes sense. New life plan, girls quote, when Hannah goes to gyno and doctors say, you couldn't pay me to be a 24-year-old girl again, lives in my head rent free. When Hannah goes to the gyno, when does she go to, what season is that? How do I not know that? I have literally seen every season of Girls like 10 times over. When I was married to Jeff, that's all I ever watched. Oh, yes. I do remember that when her gyno says that to her. I love that show so much. So glad you do too. I feel like not everybody loves that show. And a lot of people don't like Lena Dunham. I mean, I don't know much about her myself, but she's hilarious as Hannah Horvath. Thank you for your super chat, babe. Honey, you are realizing how you've been conned and are angry at yourself. Recognize it and face it head on. And, you know, hey, Rhonda Frank, hey, Tired Madge, it's more than being conned. It's more than that. It's more than Tommy. It's more than all of that. Hey, Darcy's. Yes, Rose, absolutely. Instead of a boy, let's throw your gorgeous energy into a new cult. Throw on the cult leader cap and let's choose what we're going to worship. Jenny, that's splendid advice. Why not? Let's get back into, why are we not back into a cult yet? We are overdue. Jenny Stout, thank you for your super chat. Does anybody know, Buffy, does anybody know why I titled this video? Does anyone recognize it? C-Dub, great idea. I used to tell myself, put on your big girl panties and deal with it. I used to live that mantra until I realized that mentality was harming me by not letting myself be sad. Well, exactly, Teresa. It's like saying to little boys, don't cry. Boys don't cry. Same thing. Put on your big girl panties and deal with it. Why? Why are we doing that? And in my case, growing up, get your TRs in and get back on post. Get productive. Get to producing. What are you doing? How angry have you gotten? Get very mad. I don't go to mad. That's not my thing. Hey, Copper Top. Hey, Killy Billy. I'm kind of surprised nobody has said that they don't know what that title is. Solo Traveler, watched you since you're doxing, and you're the only one I have not unsubscribed since the drama started, simply because it seems like you are the only one who genuinely cares about your community. Wow. Wow, Solo Traveler, that makes me feel all warm inside. I don't know if there's truth to that, but I appreciate it so much. I only say that because I don't watch other communities, but thank you. That's a huge compliment to me and our community here. Thank you. Meredith Lynn, was that, oh, that's one of my favorite actresses. Viola Davis. Wasn't that Viola Davis that said that? Andy, did I say hi to you, or is that just in my head? Mad is healthy. I'm not saying it's unhealthy, Heidi. I just don't usually get angry. I get very mopey. I get very sad. There's no crying in baseball. Well, okay, so it's from one of my favorite movies. It's a very dark movie, but God, it's one of my favorites. The acting is superb in it. Hey, love it. It was Viola Davis. I thought so. I love Viola Davis. That's a huge thing that was thrown your way with Tommy. You are truly going to go through the whole grieving process, and sometimes that takes time. Give yourself grace. Lemster, you're right. And again, happy birthday. And this is classic. What am I doing? I don't have eye makeup on. Scratch away. This is classic Scientology. That's all. I need to remember to give myself time. That's all. This is going to take time. And I'm sitting here going, Why isn't this healing? Why isn't this healing? Heal, heal. Like it doesn't work that way. And I am going to, hey, Stella got it. I am going to have setbacks. And I just have to know that, yes, Liz Tricks. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. That is one of my favorite movies. Tommy Lee Jones was so good in that movie. Javier Bardem. So No Country for Old Men. And there's some gems. Lydia Krause, yes. There's some gems in that movie. Honestly, it's a dark ass movie. You're never going to laugh really. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Josh Brolin makes me laugh in that movie. There's a couple of scenes that I think are funny that you would not think are funny. But like when he's checking in at that motel and the lady is like trying to sell him the motel room, and he's like out in a really crappy part of town, like in the country or something, and he's like she's like here's the rooms, you pick the options. She's like this old lady with an accent. Hey, Noelle, why am I telling this story? I've seen that movie so many times. It's one of my favorite movies. And she's like you pick the option. And he's like, well, like he doesn't understand. Like she's trying to like get him a room. And he's like, he just says, he looks at her and he goes, well, I'm just one person. So he's like, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just one person. And she's like showing him the menu and she's like, you pick the option. And so he just like points to something and she gets upset with him and she goes, that one's got 2 double beds. And it's just like, it's not funny to other people. There's just like little gems in that movie that I laugh. I laughed in Pulp Fiction too, Renee B. But it's so funny. She's like shocked. She's like, that one's got 2 double beds. It's a great movie, but not my favorite. It's not my favorite scene in that movie, but there's a scene in that movie and it's I don't know about you guys. Sometimes like when I was married to Michael, we watched a lot of movies. I should, Lumen. I love Girls. I absolutely love Girls. Girls episode, Bad Friend. I never watched beyond when Adam were in the tub and they agree they don't want anything to change and are happy. It ends for me there. That's how I want to remember those two. Good. Don't go forward then because it's sad how they do end it. It's sad how they end it. It's so sad how they end it, actually. Like they're sitting in well, you don't want to know, but I'll just sweep over it real quick, right? Because it's bringing me out of my funk. They're sitting in like a little cafe and they think they're going to be fine together. Thank you for your super chat. And she's like, so what are you going to do today? And like, they realize they're totally done. They're never going to be together again. And he's like, I don't know. And he like starts crying and his chin starts shaking. And it's sad when men cry anyway. And like, they both start crying and then it's over between the two of them. I'm sorry to tell you that, babe. But anyway, does anybody else recall, like I'm the same way with songs. Music and movies, there are some scenes in movies. Yeah, they both knew, Lumen. Yeah. Yeah, Pepperoni Nips. I love Girls. Does anybody else experience this? Like do you have like a song that's very meaningful to you and you reflect on that? By Jolie, you reflect on it. Maybe you went through a time and it reminds you of that time. It's the same thing with certain movie scenes. I'm like, ooh, that was deep for me. But at the same time, I don't know if I think like everybody else thinks. Hey, Shelly Kelly, that's okay. Meaning like I focus on too much. I put too much into things. I put too much thought into some things. And I'm like, like, do you ever watch a movie and it really makes you think about your own life? Or is that just me? Like, do I just have too much time? It's not even too much time. Lack of human beings in my life. Like, do I not have enough people in my life? Does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense. Let me try again. Brandy Carlisle's song Stay Gentle really resonates with me in regards to healing. I like that girl. I know 2 of her songs and I really liked it. One of her, I'd heard about her from the show Dexter. They played a song in Dexter and I was like, who is that? Because I love it. I think it's called Lullabies, the song, and I like it. I'm used to being tough. And she says, stay gentle, the most powerful thing you can do, gentle, unbreakable you. I love that, Teresa. I'll have to listen to it because I like her voice a lot. If that's the same girl. Maybe it's not the same girl. Teresa, thank you for your super chat. Yeah, so we can all kind of, okay, so we're all on the same page. Now, some parts of movies you're like, "Oh, I love that scene. It makes me think of," but do you ever go through other parts of movies where you're like, "Ooh, shit, that's heavy." Really makes me think, like reflect on me? Thank you, Amanda. So this part in No Country for Old Men, I didn't think so, main mom, where he goes to, first of all, that's just a dark, dark movie. But I like dark movies sometimes. I like heavy movies if I'm in the mood for it. Um, so I was reading that. I loved Dexter. Yeah, Mary Beth. So in that movie, if you're all tracking with me, and why I'm babbling on about this, only the Lord is going to know. So no one tried to figure that out. And even the Lord is probably right now going, get it out, Reese. Use your words. Hey, Lisa Vining. Oh, Lemster, it's such a good movie. The acting is so good in No Country for Old Men. But when he gets to the gas station to pay for something, I love you. I already knew what happened. I just never wanted to watch them break down. It's sad, New Life Plan. It's rough. It's such good acting, though. I love Adam Driver so much. Is he married? I'm asking for New Life Plan. I was going to send a song for you to listen to after one of your streams. My music is very eclectic, but listen to Just Like You by Falling in Reverse. If anything, it'll make you. Will you text that to me, Alicia? Thank you. I'd love to. I also have one I have to listen to from Wanda wants me to listen to. Anyway, does anybody even care about that? What am I doing? Honestly, what are we doing? But he says that's the title of this, that scene. New Hope Mickey. Hey, Wharton Pistol. He's arguing with the guy. Hey, Kazri. And he does the coin toss with him. And he says, because he's a killer, the dude's a emotionless. I'm pretty sure he's an OT8 because he's dead behind the eyes. Javier Bardem in that. I'm pretty sure he's channeling Tom Cruise. It's a great movie, Holiday. And he said, thank you, Alicia. He says, he flips the coin and he does the coin toss. And the coin toss means you're going to live or die. He's going to kill you. He's a trained hitman. And this poor guy is just a random dude. Please treat yourself to a tea on me. Linda G, not much, but you're so appreciated. You've played a huge role in my personal growth. Damn, girl. That's more than enough. Thank you. And I will. Next time I go to town, Linda. Thank you. That's really kind. I love that. Hey, Sandra Ferguson. And he makes him flip the coin, guys. And the guy, he says, he flips it and he hasn't shown it yet. And he goes, you need to call it. Adam is 41 and married. Gross. Never mind. I thought he was older. Not my friend won't like that. He says, you need to call it. I can't call it for you. Wouldn't be fair. And the guy's like, call it for what? And he's like, just call it. And what does he say? It's such a good scene. But he says, I need to know what we're calling. And he goes, you just have to call it. And he's like, but he says, I didn't put anything up. And he says, hey, Robin V. He goes, yes, you did. He said, you've been putting it up your whole life. You just didn't know it. And that's such a powerful line to me. It's so powerful because it's true. You never know when you're going to die. We never know what's going to happen. And he's in the face of a murderer. And this guy, if he calls heads or tails incorrectly, he's going to kill him. And so he says, oh, okay, Claire. DNV, I do like some dark stuff. It's probably my sick ass mind. But he says, you've been putting it up your whole life. You just didn't know it. And then he says, he goes, well, what do I stand to win? And he goes, everything. You stand to win everything. And he's saying that because he knows he's going to kill him. Hey, baby angel. And it's just a really powerful, creepy scene because so far throughout this whole movie, if you call heads or tails and you get it wrong, he's going to kill you, even if you're a total stranger. This guy is totally checked out and mentally gone. He's just a walking murderer. So why I'm going over this movie scene, I don't know. It just was really, it's interesting. Yeah, Heather Landau. There's a lot of good lines in that movie. And Tommy Lee Jones is so good in that movie. He's so good. He has a lot of good. I like Josh Brolin too. He's my third favorite in that. Interesting. I never thought of that. It makes sense that you process your life through movies. That was normal to you growing up. That could be true. I don't watch movies now, but I can tell you I have watched a lot of movies and I remember them so well. Like I remember, I can quote, Tommy used to love that about me. He was like, do you know how rare that is? Thank you, P. Taylor. I can quote movie line after movie line after movie line. Casri, it's no country for old men. And my first husband and I used to do it all the time. We would quote movies all day long. And it is fun to do that. It's almost like speaking a different language. And a lot of people can't do it with you. So then it does get weird if you're out and you have the perfect moment to quote something and nobody gets it. It's like, oh man, that was a missed opportunity. Yvonne Clark, I get that. Thanks, Lemster. Wow. Hey, Geoplanet Jane. Interesting, Charlie. That song. That's a good song. Joe, I could see that, Rain Virus. You and Joe do that all day, every day. I love also quoting movies. I just don't watch them anymore. I think you know what it is? I just realized that. I don't like watching movies by myself. Huxley and I will watch a movie sometimes. Thanks, Mary Beth. But I really don't love, I don't find it interesting. I think I love 10 things I hate about you. I just realized that. And that crossed my mind today too. On our birthdays, if you recall, Tommy's birthday is July 3rd, mine is July 8th. And I was thinking about that today. On our birthdays, each day last year, we sat and watched movies the whole day. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And I think that's what it is for me. I don't want to sit and I don't want to go watch a movie by myself. Movie watching for me is an intimate thing. I love sitting and holding hands and eating a snack and laughing together. I love Dirty Dancing. So I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I don't watch movies now because I find it a waste of time. If there's no one there to enjoy it with me, and Huxley doesn't love movie watching. It's just not his thing. He wasn't really raised watching movies. He will, and his dad is obsessed with movies. Candace, yes. But I think that's what it is for me. C-Dub? Yeah, and Lisa, that's it too. It's kind of depressing for me because I watched so many movies as a child by myself. That's what it is. I watched a ton of movies as a kid alone. And so now it just kind of makes me sad. It makes me feel bad to watch movies alone. It's not, wow. Casper, I have not seen or talked to you in forever. Hello from vacation. Great Falls, Montana. Isn't that where you live? Would that be a staycation? Either way, hey to Casper and Mariana. Thanks for stopping by, Casper. It's nice to see you. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm going to repeat this, says C-Dub, because I think it's important for you to hear. My mom always said it takes half the time you were with someone to get over one. Oh, shit. Really? Okay. I could see that. Hey, Vicky Andrews, I could see that. Bumblebee, that is so nice. First super chat I ever sent. Thank you for your time. That's a kind thing to do, Bumblebee. And thank you for the tip. I appreciate that so much. And I'm honored that I'm your first one. Thank you, Bumblebee. Yeah, Casper, it's so cool of you to stop by. I hope you guys are doing good. I have not talked to you in a long time. Hey, Ree. And I'm picky about movies, honestly, too. I'm picky about movies. There's certain actors I don't support, especially now, all the weird shit in Hollywood. But there are some really, really, really good ones that are talented and should do what they do for a living because they're so good at it. But I loved. There's just some good learning gems to me in No Country for Old Men. If you watch it, I've watched it so many times, and every time I feel like, oh, Kestrel, I haven't seen that in so long. Ever After. I love Angelica Houston. Was there a time that you ever loved me? How could anybody love a pebble in their shoe? That was so mean. That line was so mean. Thanks, GeoPlanet Jane. These actually aren't red. Everybody thinks these are red, but they're like a honey color. They're I wish I had a white background, but I don't. They are definitely like a tan, like a British tan. Yeah, Katie did it. That's a great movie. Is it really Jason P? Me too. I love No Country for Old Men. Hey, everyone. Love you guys too. Casper, we really do. I'm so happy that you stopped by. I always think, hey, Shannon Trim. Yeah, caramel color, Susan the Sage. I always think when you truly love someone, you never fully get over them. You just learn to go on without them. Kind of like when someone you love passes away. Hey, Martha Slemmer. Yes, that's probably got some truth to it. No, not at all, Yvonne. Not at all. That's the point. I went back to back to back with men. Baby Angel, I just think British tan, and I think of a couple of my leather handbags that I have, and the color is called British tan. So maybe I'm wrong on that. Yeah, time arc. You bring up a good point about that, guys. I think there's something beautifully romantic about the fact that all the men that I've been with, I do still love. What a thing to just say out loud and reflect on. That actually just made me feel a little lighter in a weird way. That made me feel better. Hey, Rabbit Flea. Merry Equinox, everyone. The sun is now in Aries. Yes, Kazri, it's the first day of spring. Thank you for telling us that, Kazri. Thank you for your super chat. My husband and I don't watch the same movie. So unless we're going to be a big family movie for 20, it's a solo venture. And Jenny Stout, I get that. I think it just makes me feel depressed because I watched so many movies when I was little by myself. It wasn't really fun. It was just because I was lonely. And I related to the characters. I fell in love with Hannibal Lecter. That's twisted and weird, but I did. Thank you for your super chat. That alone makes me feel a little bit lighter. You know, I always hear people talk about their exes and how much they hate them. Wharton Pistol, thank you. How much they hate them. And, I wish they were dead. I've heard people say that. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way. Yeah, Brigitte. I can go through every guy I've been with. Boy, what a weird conversation to have, but I feel good talking about it. I don't want to hate people. Yeah, Yvonne. When I say that, I mean it. I don't want to hate anybody. My first husband, I say it's weird because we weren't really in love, but I do love Michael. I'll always love Michael, just not that way. Interesting, Casper. If you mentioned The Mountain Between Us, I don't know that. Is that a song or a movie? It sounds like that's a movie. The Mountain Between Us. I've never heard of it. I don't hate them though. Like I love each and every one of them individually. I do. I do. Thank you, Kazri. I do. And I actually feel warm saying that. It makes me feel good to say that. I was thinking today, for somebody who doesn't want to harm anybody, hey, Lake Lady Mima, for someone who doesn't want to harm anybody and who doesn't hate anybody, do you guys think I'm kind of an asshole? I'm being serious. I'm not making a joke. I've never heard of it, Casper. Am I a little bit too rough? Like, I don't know if it's yeah, the person I talked to on the phone today pointed this out. She said, your Scientology background, the way you guys talk to each other in Scientology and how you're just like, get over it, go fuck yourself. That's kind of how you are in Scientology. And I feel like things have come back to bite me lately where I am way too rough. Caroline, I'm trying to work on not killing spiders. Kid killed a spider the other day and ate it, and I nearly lost my life over it. I almost jumped out of my own skin. Yeah, Christy Lynn Wilson, you come across rougher than you are probably because of the language that you use. Hey, my lawyer friend Denise. I do want to say though, that makes me feel warmer that like I still very much love Jeff in my own way. And Tommy, we all know that I'm not over that. So we'll just leave it at that. Um, Everybody's saying no, but I think you guys are being nice. Okay, fine. Maybe I'm not an asshole, but yeah, it's that Kim, yes, Kim says yes, you are. You have almost no filters. Kim, I appreciate your candor, if that's the right word. It's not that I'm saying I'm an asshole, but I think that I come off. This is why, guys. All right. I didn't want to address this, but I'm going to bring it up. All right. Ellie, I totally plan to. I'm not going to blame this on the Midwest. I think it's a Scientology thing. Like, we're just rough. Scientologists are rough. Okay. No filter does not equal asshole. Hey, Kat. This is why I'm not so sure, guys. I'm not so sure. As much as you guys are loving it, I'm not so sure that these streams going out in public, Reese in the, Reese in the streets, Scientology in the sheets, I'm not so sure that they're a good idea. And I mean that. I'm not sure. Because people don't, this has been my problem my whole life. And I'm pretty sure this is why I don't have any friends. And this is why my mom was like, you're not going to be for everybody. People don't know how to take me. And I'm not, it's not like I'm the only person that's like that. Okay. Anybody who's dry, has that sarcastic humor. It's not like I haven't met people like me. Okay. But I've noticed you be quite cynical in some past lives, Reese, but it was actually when you streamed with Tommy. I believe that. You are a straight shooter. You speak truth. Sometimes that can be perceived as brash or blunt. Yes. What? You're scaring me. Hey, Suze. Self-awareness. Your self-awareness is the difference. Assholes are generally not as aware. Good point. That's a great point. How do you feel about people like you? I love people like me. I flock to people like me, Kazri. I enjoy people like me. I like people who are tell it like it is, kind of like we just said, like kind of maybe a little brash, kind of blunt. Because you don't have to, my biggest thing I hate, guys, about human beings is passive aggressiveness. I don't like it. I can't be around people like that. I don't enjoy it. So I don't like beating around the bush. But I do wonder if I'm too much for a lot of people. Look, all of you guys, we all get along great. You know me too. That helps. You are familiar with this personality. You've been here for a while. Yeah, rain virus. And I think these public streams may not be a great idea. I feel the way you do. Your streams, you validate people. It's so interactive. You know who you and what you are. You can't be an asshole. Yeah, I need a card. I don't know who likes passive aggressive, honestly, but I worry that these going out in the wild streams are a little too much for people. I really do. I will say you have a big heart for people and critters, and that huge heart can get lost in the sometimes shockingly blunt language. Yes. Biggie Cat, I think you're probably right. Thank you, Jenny Stout. I appreciate you saying that. It seems like you have learned an aggressive form of communication as survival method. Yes. If you said something that might rub me wrong, I'd simply clarify what you meant or what your intentions were. Well, that's what I love about you, Teresa. That's what I love about you and anybody like you. That's what you should do. Rather than thinking you read something wrong, just ask them. Did I take that the way you intended it? I mean, honestly, when somebody's passive aggressive, that's my favorite thing to do. To go, how did you mean that? Did you mean that like I think you meant that? Was that meant to be funny? Can I clarify that real quick? What your intentions were there? Because then they have to explain themselves, and it's so fun to do that to people. Yvonne, hell no, I'm not taking you to a rescue shelter. Yvonne, come on. You know what would happen. We'd be bringing home all kinds of things. Not to mention, I'm trying to get a damn raccoon. Hey, Lady O. So I think it's possible. Your dad hating when you were little wasn't exactly charm school. Uh-huh. Sarah, I agree. Why are you worried about the lives being out there? Who are you worried about offending? Well, for instance, let's just choose a random. What is it? You're scaring me. All right. Marsha Laird, I can't try blocking you because I can't find you. Okay. Do you think you worry too much about upsetting other people? No, I don't worry about that ever. I heard Natalie say today she would like to stream with you, but that Reese is just doing her own thing now. Yep, that's pretty true. No, no. If I worried about insulting other people, I wouldn't talk before I think it through, if that makes sense. Like, no, I'm not worried. I'm getting a raccoon, so don't be trying to talk me out of it. It's happening. Okay. Kathy Ann sent me a raccoon short reel of somebody that has a raccoon, and I'm doing it. Okay. It's just when the moment is right. When the Lord brings it to me, I shall know. My dad asks how Reese is doing because he caught the stream when he's at my place. Oh my God, is he cute? How old is your dad? Okay. No, Yvonne, I have not. Rescues cost a lot of money. I saw Toonie and I want Toonie, Kathy Ann. I'm upset about it. Couldn't be more upset. Okay. What was I saying? Guys. Okay. Geoplanet Jane, that's a little extreme. Raccoons are vicious predators, not Toonie. I watched it on live. I watched it on a stream. No way. I would like a possum as well, old Charlie. Maybe they could come as a bonded pair. Is that what you're saying? Your lack of effect when you're joking and sarcastic is excellent. It's not though, because people don't understand it, right? People don't understand it. So let's just pull this out of a hat. Oh, I don't know. Oh, your dad is 76? Give him my email. Let's just Yorkie mom. Yeah. I love the out and about streams. Who told you they were too much? Oh, I don't know. Let's just off the cuff. Let me just anything that comes to mind. Let's just pull this randomly. Maybe yesterday, for instance. Okay, there we go. Yesterday. Okay. So, guys, Kim is blue. Our married friend. Okay. Oh, look, a super chat. I did not like you the first time I saw you. That's crazy, P. Taylor. You and I are close. Back when you started streaming with Aaron. But the more I listened to you, I discovered you were a good person with a good heart. P. Taylor put the work in. Thank you, P. Taylor. Thank you. I love you for that. And I'm so glad that you stuck it through and you went through the other side and you said, I'm going to give her a go. Thank you for your super chat. Okay. So, where to begin? Our married friend yesterday. Yeah. are married. Hey, Allison Byrne, dang girl, I haven't seen you in forever. I got to hug her. Oh, I like your new picture. Looking cute, Allison. Our married friend, our married feller. The nice thing Liz says about your dry sense of humor is you weed out the folks who don't get it so you can find your people. I am your people. You are. Lisa Kelson, there, okay, Lisa, in the kindest way. I went and did a stream yesterday at a fun little town cafe. And I walked in and I said, "Do you guys mind if I stream in here?" And the guy said, "I'm married. We're all married." It made my beehole tighten a little bit. It made me a little bit like, ugh, hey, hope between the dreams. And I think that I tended to harp on that, perhaps too much. I, t- I mocked our married friend a little bit too much. Okay. Um, yeah, we did get the chance to ask. I wonder if you asked if he would have agreed. Oh no, it wasn't a joke to me. Now, come to find out our married friend said it's a joke. But if it was a joke, why didn't you say it was a joke? Or why didn't you like, hey, Janine Bolton, Penny Rogers, it didn't feel like a joke. And then the tension got weirder and it got a little weirder and everybody got a little more uncomfortable. And if it was a joke, I just wish the guy would have been like, "Hey, gal, I meant it this way, and I think it went over your head." So I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm the wrong one here. But maybe we should just stay in the comfort of our own house, no? Because I seem to, we don't want to teach a man to fish. There's no I in team, right? And it is a slippery slope out there. And it's a wild world. Susie CJ, you became harsher when with Tommy. I couldn't agree with you more. You seemed unfazed by losing people that love you. I never felt that with you in all the time I've been with you. I think you're better already, just my feelings. Susie, I absolutely feel more like myself than I have in a long time. And I think I did become very different with Tommy. That's not Tommy's fault. That's my fault. My behavior changed, right? So, thank you for pointing that out, girl. And I love Susie CJ. I love you. Thank you for your super chat. You were not wrong if his joking falls flat. Nobody's wrong. I feel bad for the guy. Like, I feel bad for the whole situation. If I had it to do over, I would not have been so. I never talk to Sterling anymore, Mousy. I would not have been so. I shouldn't have harped on it so much. It's like leave these people alone. But that's my personality, and I cope with humor. So like I think that's one of the reasons I do so well off the cuff. Tommy always used to say that to me, "You are fast on your feet." And I am. I'm fast in situations. I could go on any show anytime right now. Like, what I mean by that is I'm not afraid, I'm not nervous. You can ask me any questions. We can I don't need a script. I don't need any of that. Now, I'm not trying to show off by saying that. I'm just saying I don't worry about what's going to come at me. I'll deal with it just fine. But sometimes I think I overdo it and people don't get my humor. And I get very sarcastic. And I got very sarcastic. And I was not trying to make fun of that guy. I was not trying to make fun of that town. None of that. It's just my silly, dark humor. Here's the problem. You guys understand my silly, dark humor. Brand new people don't. And people who don't get, hey, Chaotic Bleach, who don't get humor like that in general, not everybody can read dark humor. Why I was married to Jeff is the question of the century because he didn't get it at all. Jeff did not get my humor. Hey, Anna Christie, I want to say I've been through some intense things in my life, but if I had to walk a mile in your shoes, I don't think I could. You're awesome. Joanne Holly, that is so nice. Thank you for saying that and being a member, babe. I love you. That is really nice. A lot of people think before they speak. What you think is funny might be hurtful to someone else. I reacted the same way you did. Yes. Is it that you're realizing you have a stronger defensive muscle and should give people the benefit of the doubt? I don't know that that's what I'm realizing. Because I think I don't know how to put this. Yeah, I definitely can banter. No, that's not it. It's when somebody throws something snarky at me like that, I can make jokes of it and laugh about it, but it doesn't come off that way to them. So I don't know that I was being super defensive. Maybe I was. Always late, that could be. So many people take you the wrong way. God, yes. My mother does. My mother is the perfect example of that. My mom doesn't get my humor most of the time. And my mom, since I've been in her life, kind of starting around the age of 18, my mom would look at me regularly and go, "You're not going to be for everybody, Reese. Not everybody's going to like you." Like, I think that was her way of saying, like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Unfortunately, I'm trying to soften that, but it's hard to do. It's kind of in my blueprints. And so, I think this goes for not everybody's going to fucking fit in. Okay. I'm also going to stand up for myself a little bit here. You've also got the opposites of me. You've got people who are the opposite of me. You've got introverts. You've got quiet people. You've got people who are terrified to go in public. You've got people who have my first husband, he has major anxiety being around people. I don't have that. How often do you think those people feel like they fit in anywhere they go? They don't. Right? It's a thing. It's a human thing. But I wish that I thought things through more, and I don't. Shit just rolls out of my mouth. And I know it offends people and it affects people, and I wish it didn't. That's what makes me feel bad. I feel bad that I offended those guys. I didn't want to offend those guys, but I was a bitch. So it's like, oh, how do I fix that? So many people yes, we are. Yeah. Consider asking the mom if you want to. If it feels wounding, it may be you and not them. Same goes for your audience. Look within for clarity. Robin, I love you. And that's great advice. And thank you for being a member. Hey, Lemster, have fun and happy birthday. Able to joke in weird situations is a gift. Comedian Bill Burr has changed his outlook, but still has the childhood rage, which makes him funny. Well, that's true. A lot of comedians, you're right, do that. That's that's why they're comedians. That's their way of communicating. Happy to be here. Hugs and love. You rock. Thank you, Pamela. I love you, babe. Thank you. This is true too. Your mom wasn't really around to raise you, so she really had no hand in forming your personality. Yes. Thank you, Susie CJ. Yeah, definitely, Lumen. I think I did offend those guys, and I feel bad about it. That was not the intent. But here's the fucking problem. And take yesterday's equation out of it. That's been my problem. That's why I was constantly in trouble in Scientology. This is not anything new, what happened yesterday. I opened my mouth and I got sent to ethics all the time, and I had to word clear jokers and degraders because I'm too much of a joker and a degrader. And so there's some truth to that, right? Like, I harped on those guys too much yesterday. It was too much. But it's like, now, what do I do about it? All I can do is move forward and try to fix that. But it's hard for me to fix that, especially in the moment. It's just kind of like how I'm fast. I am fast on my feet. I don't stop and think. It just comes out of my mouth. That's not an excuse. It's just, I don't know how to fully work on that. Joanne, part 2, also come out of a cult and accept all of us into your life, and your journey is a learning experience for us as well. So thank you. It is. And part of me is saying about yesterday, it's a learning experience. I feel bad, but I don't know these guys' names. I don't know their numbers. And honestly, I don't know that I owe them an apology. You know what I did? Thank you, Joanne, for your super chat. I reached out to the business. I reached out to the daughter and the owner, and I spoke to them at length yesterday. And I said, hey, I hope I didn't cause a problem, right? Like, I hope I didn't cause a problem. And if I did, I said, I won't come back. That's on me. And I shouldn't, and I'd like to make it right. And I'm sorry. And they were like, what? Not at all. And we hope you do come back. And they were like, thank your people. We've gotten a ton of orders and everybody's supporting us. So thank you. But it still doesn't set well with me that that's how how do you, and you know what? How do you think why wait. Well, Reese, why do you think you do it? You can't fix something. Do I want to fix it? Here's the problem too. Let's spin this and look at it from a different point of view. I just have a loud personality. And mom's right. It's not going to be for everyone. Maybe that's it. I'm not doing harm. Hey, Abigail. Kim is blue. I'm not. Actually, there's a reason that I'm talking about it. Yeah, Penny Rogers, stop apologizing for being you. That's the thing. I'm trying to look at this from a different point of view. You know, Violet, I don't think it is for me, honestly. I don't think I have the talent to do that, to be honest. But thank you. I'm just trying to think. Guys, think. Everybody think. How many fucking personality types do we meet in the world? We meet the introverts. We meet the people who are anxious. There's whole large groups of them, right? People who are not comfortable being in public, people who are not comfortable talking to strangers, people who are not comfortable with that kind of off. Yes, I'm positive, Robin W. People that are not comfortable with that off the cuff kind of talk, people who would prefer just small talk. And I'm good at reading all of those things. So while I say I'm too much for people in certain settings and circumstances, hey, David, thank you. I'm not. If I read that somebody's nervous around people and they're not comfortable and I can tell, I back the fuck off. You know, like I'm very like, you know, thank you. Thank you for your time. I try to be real light spoken and gentle. I'm good at reading the room, I guess is what I'm trying to, very good at reading the room. But at the same time, we make room for those people too. I'm not going to get mad at somebody because their personality isn't like mine. You are giving your son an example of how to adapt. Rabbit Fleet, thank you for saying that and being a member. Guys, I'm not really being hard on myself. I'm not. Okay. I know for a fact that I offended those guys. Okay. And that wasn't the intent. And that's the part that sucks. That's the gap, right? Like that's the part where we're not going to get closure. And I'm not going to get the opportunity to fix it. The question is this: how far do I need to go to fix it? For me, fixing it was reaching out to the business because that's what mattered to me. It's a small business. They weren't doing great. I tried to help in that aspect. I love small business. I love supporting small business. And if I can use my channel every once in a while to support that, and I have the most amazing group of people that I know will support that, win-win, in my opinion, right? So what positive life? Rhonda Frank, that's not the case. Those guys sent a message. They were upset. They were very upset. Now, I didn't respond to the message because again, I didn't feel like what am I I'm thinking of a Scientology word. Let me think of a word that's not Scientology. Vicky C, it's not really bothering me. That's yesterday's interaction is not what's bothering me. What's bothering me is I've been that way my whole life. Those guys are one group of tons and tons of people who I have been too much for, right? Too rough, too aggressive, made jokes at their expense, that kind of a thing. So it's not yesterday. That's not what I'm talking about. Honestly, I don't really care about those people. To be honest, I don't care. I didn't try to intentionally hurt them. I hope their feelings aren't hurt, but I also hope we can move on with life. It's not that serious, right? Like, if those are your problems, you need to get bigger problems, to be honest. And what I mean by, hey, Sophia, yesterday to me is not the problem. What I said with those guys, I don't give a shit. I'll sleep just fine. Honestly, I don't care about that. I wish I hadn't harped on it so much, but Jesus, I'm not going to like kill myself over it, right? So the bigger problem for me is what I just said 10 or 15 minutes ago. Maybe streaming out in the wild isn't a good idea, because the bigger problem is my personality for some people who don't know me is way too much. The guys are not the issue. I don't care about those guys. That's not the issue. The issue is, yeah, I'm using them as yesterday as an example, Ty Mark. And I am sorry that I hurt their feelings, but again, I'm not going to like go try to find where they live. Live with it. I'm sorry, but that's not what really happened. And I wasn't trying to make them feel bad. It was just more of a misunderstanding, right? But when you thought you may have given offense, you called up and apologized. And I did. I spoke to the owner, Becky, and I spoke to Ambry yesterday. And I just said, hey, if there's anything I can do to make this right, like I won't come back like that. I mean, I might get a to-go order, but I'm not going to stream, right? Thank you, Jenny, for your super chat. You're not too much. We all have rougher days. Susie, CJ, absolutely. Again, and thank you for your super chat. It's not so much that isolated incident. Again, to me, it was a misunderstanding. The guy said it was a joke and it went over my head, because when I said, do you care if I stream in here? He said, I'm married. We're all married. And his intention behind that was, yeah, because we're used to our wives yapping, which honestly isn't really a funny joke to me. I was like, fell flat. But if that's true, that's what the intention was behind that, and that was to be a joke, I kind of didn't see that. I didn't take it that way, because he looked at me and he was like this, and he went, I'm married. We're all married. He didn't have a smile on his face. Nobody laughed. Like, it made it awkward. And I was like, okay, like, I'm not a stripper. Are we in a Hooters right now? Like, I don't understand. So, yeah. Now, did I take it too far? Probably. I tend to do that a lot, right? I didn't take that joke that way, but he apparently meant it that way. I don't know what you mean, Geoplanet Jane. So anyway, I reached out to the owner and I just said, hey, God, I hope my mouth didn't get me in trouble with your establishment. That's the last thing I want. I'm sorry. It fell flat. If that's really what it was, I heard it as offensive, says Kim. I know I'm not the only woman that took it that way. And this guy really made a point to go, that went right over your head. And it's like, I think it went over everybody's head, because I didn't really, I didn't take that as funny. It didn't come like, it's not like he went, I'm married, girl. We're all married in here. Like, it just didn't, we're harping on this too much. And that's not my point. The point isn't, Beata. Depends on how far back it is, girl. You may have to just retype it. Looking, hold on, here it is. Some smoke, some say blunt things. The point is, why do you feel this subconscious tension that makes you go to an automatic reaction? This is something to reflect. I kind of understand what you're saying, but I kind of don't. Huh, okay. Yeah, Lumen, a lot of people heard it that way. Liz Tricks. Nailed it. So basically, his humor isn't for everyone either. That is a beautiful thing to say. And I agree with that. That's the best thing that has been said so far tonight. Yeah, we both misread each other. And I feel bad about it. I wish that I hadn't made those people uncomfortable, right? I do. But more importantly, I want to make sure that business is okay. Like, but they are. I mean, she even said, the owner messaged me and she goes, I love you and your quirky humor. So I was like, okay, good. As long as they're not upset, that's what matters, because I wanted to support those guys. Um, yeah, I didn't get it. Hey, Barpo. Yes, this is important. If his tone had been different, you wouldn't have responded the way you did. They made you uncomfortable. Yeah. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. I think honestly, Liz Trix has it right. It was a misunderstanding on both parts. These guys aren't furious. They're not like making a mess. They're not like flipping out. It's just it was made known to me that they weren't happy about that interaction. And I thought, well, truthfully, I wasn't either, you know? Yeah, that's true too. You matched energy. Maybe I am being too hard on myself. Maybe I am, actually. You're giving me a little bit more confidence, actually, Skyrider and Liz Tricks. I'm not saying I was right and they were wrong, but I am saying, I think there was a misunderstanding on both parts, and it's not entirely all my fault. Hey, Dylan, is quirky humor like saying, oh, bless your heart? I'm not really sure, Dylan. That's a great question. But yeah, not this is how I started this too. I mean this, and people might disagree after the whole conversation we just had. That's why I said, am I too rough? Because I don't want to hurt anybody. And it almost feels like an oxymoron once you see my loud mouth personality and my rough humor. I still stand by what I say, though. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to make people feel bad. There's a difference. Some people use humor and comedy to make fun of other people. I don't like that. I don't laugh at it. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny to make fun of people. I don't think it's funny to laugh at other people's expense if it's something that is making fun of them. I don't want to hurt people. But at the same time, I am a little bit, Rose, you are being way too hard on yourself. Thank you, Angela, for becoming a member. That's amazing. Thank you. Hey, Cheryl Roberts. Good for you, girl. I hurt every time you say ham wallet. He was demeaning toward women. Is it too rough to stand up for women, Ty Mark? I mean, I felt like it was a little rough what he said. I did not take that in the joking fashion that he said it was, but that doesn't mean that he's lying. It just means I didn't understand. I didn't speak his humor and he didn't speak mine. Thank you, Barpo. And some people do insist on getting their feelings hurt. Hey, what say Lou? They were not employees, they were customers. So, yeah, Shell, I agree. So do you guys feel like we should I mean, I am going to go out and stream on Saturday with Angie Mo. We're going to go to a yeah, Allison Byrne, I agree. We're going to go to a what are we doing? Why can't I ever get that word? Flea market. We're going to go to a flea market and stream. And I think it will be a lot of fun. With comedy, I think the best approach seems to be punch upward and never punch down on someone. Betty White taught us this well. No matter how far you go back in time, she never punched down. Yes. And I loved Betty. That's such a good point. That's the kind of comedy I don't like. I don't think it's funny. Susan the Sage, it's true. Not everybody is for everybody. And you're right. People are going to get offended. Everybody gets offended more, it seems like, these days than ever. So that was a stream that I was listening to, and I hope I don't get demonetized by playing this, but listen to this. And I thought it was so good. This was so good. Listen to this, guys. Puts things into perspective.
On solving big
Hold on. Dang it. Let me start it over.
If I order medium rare steak at a restaurant and they bring me well done chicken, I just eat it.
So do I.
Who gives a shit?
So do I. I'm the same way.
Like, if somebody cuts me off in traffic and then flips me off, I'm like, wow, they need bigger problems.
Yes.
Traffic is bugging you that much, you'll never be successful. So know that. If you're annoyed because a friend doesn't ask you to go to the mall, or someone cut you off in traffic, or you think a friend offended you, or you think a coworker is being a little rude, then you're screwed because you're worried about the wrong things. Spend that energy on solving big problems and you accomplish big things.
This is massively valuable for people to hear.
I agree with that. That goes hand in hand with what we were talking about recently on react. Not everything deserves a reaction. Even what went down yesterday with those guys, that is so minuscule. That is so nothing when you think about the real world and real problems. That I misunderstood a guy's joke and the guy got offended by me harping on it is like, it's not even real when you start thinking about how easily offended people get. Everybody gets offended, it seems like, over the smallest things. And it's true. Like the traffic. Remember the guy that threatened to drive home and kill me the other day at Costco in the car wash line? You don't have enough going on. Like, if that is your biggest problem. Thank you, Katie, for becoming a member. I don't know how many people agree with that. That's true too. Thank you, Katie. You don't know what triggered his comment. Maybe he had a fight with his wife. Maybe she's unreasonably paranoid. Maybe he's a cheater, not your issue. That's the other thing. I hate saying this because it's a little harsh for me. I hate saying this, but your things that trigger you are your problem. I don't like that because, like I said, if I said something like, yeah, go F your mother, and you get pissed, and then I go, your triggers are your problem. Like, really? I don't know. Because you kind of just really tried to trigger me there. I don't like that, but it still does. You are the only one that's going to react, right? So like you getting super offended, that's how you chose to react. And that's something I'm really trying to work on, is not react. Not everything deserves reaction. We don't have to react to everything. We don't have to get an opinion. I didn't cut him in line. No, I cut him off driving. He wasn't going through the car wash. You still want my steak and not chicken, I would be kind, but the mistake, don't mess with yeah, that part I didn't agree with too, Teresa. If I ordered a steak and I got chicken, I would say I ordered a steak. But think of it this way. In a couple of weeks, will this situation matter? Liz Tricks, that situation already doesn't matter to me. Again, that wasn't the point. The point is me and my attitude and the way I make fun, poke fun, make jokes at things. In a couple of weeks, that will still matter to me. Those guys, I don't give a shit about. But that's going to still matter to me, how I affect people when I'm out streaming in public. And if it's going to make me look bad, if it's going to be too harsh and rough because I'm too much for people, then no. Then it will matter, and I don't want to do it because I don't want to hurt people's feelings and make people take things the wrong way. That's not cool. Right? That situation yesterday is over with, and we need to move on from it. I need to move on from it. Hope Between the Dreams. I can't believe everybody likes this sweater. I don't like it. I got this at some weird store by my sister's house. When I first moved here, it was on some clearance rack for like $11. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, wait to speak and learn to take your time. The question is this, Liz Tricks. How do I go forward? Do I need to even worry about this kind of thing? Yeah, Liz, I agree with that. It's your defense mechanism, especially when it's a male like them. And Jan makes such a good point. It's okay to not want to hurt people, but at the same time, you can't worry about everybody else's feelings because for some people, small things offend them. Yes. So that's the question. Do I even need to fix this? I'm not trying to escape accountability here, but Jan is so right. How do I fix this? What's the alternative? Totally shut my mouth and try to be a different person and soften myself to the point where I'm not me anymore because I'm worried about walking around hurting people's feelings? Is that a way to live? Is that what I should do? Do I walk around worrying that I'm too much for people because I've been told my whole life, even in Scientology, that I'm too much for people? It's like, where is the fine line? And write out what persona you want to project while you are out and about. Yeah. Yeah, Liz Tricks, that's a good idea. And some people really do want to be offended. Thank you for that shot. I think Tommy did love you. Annika's mom, random, but thank you. I'm sure he did. I don't think you need to worry about it. I just think you need to understand the underlying drivers inside. Everyone has these conflicts of interest inside. And I think that's true too. And I think overthinkers right here, everybody who overthinks, I mean, lately that's all I do. I overthink about my behavior. How does my behavior affect other people? And honestly, I think I'm going too much. Yes, Robin B. I think I'm going too much spiraling out on this. This is what I mean. I think we've unpacked some heavy shit the last couple of weeks. And now I feel like I'm zooming in on magnifying glasses too much, picking myself apart and dissecting myself and going, maybe I shouldn't be like that anymore. What the fuck? Thank you, Skywriter. I hope that's true. Yeah, true. Everybody is too much for somebody. You just need to live and love your life and the people who matter to you. And that's the thing, guys, we'll find our people. We always do. Every decade that passes, we'll find our people. And that's true too. And some people do like to complain, perpetual victims and complainers. There's that too. Jellycats, thank you. Your streams bring me clarity. I think it's too much. I think that I am zooming in way too much on my personality and I need to chill out. By the way, the owner of that store that we went to yesterday to shop at, where I got the cowboy boots, she messaged me last night. So the daughter yesterday is the one who gave me the necklace and the piano. Thank you, Robin Miners. She messaged me last night. She was so nice. She was like, thank you so much for coming. She was like, we absolutely love your personality. You're so great. She was like, I hope you come back. Thank you for coming in and showing our store. It was so kind. That's the kind of thing that makes me so happy. Hey, Leanne, you're my kind of gal. Thank you for speaking up and out. Be yourself, as that is what matters. So many of us have been through much the same. You are so relatable. Leanne, thank you for getting it. Thank you for understanding me. Just came in, but I overthink everything and it gives me a lot of anxiety. I'm trying to work on it. Love you, Reese. Shannon C. I know I'm not the only one. I do overthink. And Time Arc, yeah, I think we'll continue to do the field trips and go to local businesses. I will just be more aware and alert of my behavior. I think that's the answer. Thank you, Brandy. I'm glad I caught your live. I was overthinking on some things myself and watching you talk these out. Thank you. Hey, Hawks. Can you let your sister out? Thank you. I love you just the way you are. Please stay you. I think that that's what it is. I don't want to change myself. Thank you, son. I think it doesn't hurt to be more self-aware. Like that's just something I want to work on anyway. Yeah, Beata, shame and blame. Don't do that. I think don't shame or blame ourselves here. I think just pay attention and be more aware that, there are people around you that may not be able to read you correctly. So soften it a little bit. I can do that. And we're not in our house. How do you act when you go over to other people's homes? You're more respectful, right? So I need to be a little bit more respectful. That's all. I probably don't need to be my loosey goosey self, right? I can do that with you guys. Yeah, not overthinking does take work, Allison Byrne, for sure. Yeah, Robin W., I agree. Having no filter doesn't make you an asshole, Reese. Thank you, Lacey Silver. I don't know if it does or does not. Sometimes I feel like it does. Sometimes I feel like it's a little bit too much. Don't want to do that. What would George Carlin do? We don't want to ask that because we'd be a lot more rough. But I do love George Carlin. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, I'm glad that we talked about this. I'm glad it came up, honestly, because good night, Aileen. You're not media trained. TV presenters and newscasters are trained to keep calm and diffuse situations in public. You are just a normal person. Thank God. Yeah. Thank you, Chaotic Bleach. And I don't ever want to be trained, right? Like this is the first time in life where I am you do look like George Carlin, Michael Malloy. This is the first time where I am able to kind of be myself, have a voice, not go to ethics for it, not have to word clear jokers and degraders, not have to get in trouble. Right. So, in a lot of ways, it's like, give yourself grace. Come on. Like, I'm not being hateful. I'm not out there trying to hurt people. Right. I feel bad that I offend people. I don't ever want to do that. So, when I do, I feel bad about that. But that's not my intention at the time. Like, while I offended those guys, that wasn't my intention. And to be honest, they offended me. And I think it was Chaotic Bleach that said you matched their energy. And I did. I read the room and I matched their energy. And it did not feel, thanks, Time Mark, it did not feel like a joke to me. However, he's saying it was a joke. I will believe that. It just, I didn't read his humor just like he didn't read mine. And I think that's a great way of looking at it. Hey, Armine, the world needs more people like you, not less. You will only do well by being yourself. Your quick responses and one-liners are on point, and what makes you unique. The world needs all personalities. Armine, thank you. That's really nice. I agree. That's very validating what she just said. That's true. And I think, oh, okay, Chaotic Bleach. Hey, Andrew, I also think I'll just say this about me. I spend too much time worrying about that kind of shit. I think that in a lot of ways, we hold ourselves back so much, our potential, all of those things, um, by worrying about the people all around us, thinking about what other people think about us, all of that. When in reality, like Liz said, is this going to matter in a couple of weeks? Will this matter in a year? People are not thinking about us as much as we think they are. Reese, do what you want. It is your channel. Thank you, Lacey. And I will. And I need to remember that. I need to remember that. As long as I'm not trying to hurt people, I'm not trying, I don't do drama. I don't gossip about other people over here. That's my happy place. And if I fumble a little bit, I think that's okay. But I think I need to not worry about it so much that I'm going to be too much. Yeah, Raymond, I think we overprocess and worry way too much about our personalities are and do they affect other people and clash with other personalities. And when in reality, it's like, I'm never going to see those guys again. How many times have we been out in a public setting and had a run in like the crazy dude at the car wash last week? That was weird and fairly dangerous feeling, but I'm never going to see that guy again. Who gives a shit? I don't know how I would have done that differently even, but I would have gone live. Yeah, self-auditing way too harshly. Lumen. Is that a Scientology thing? I know it's a cancer sign thing. Yeah, it's so true. Could be Susan the Sage. Ain't that the truth, Reese? Everybody's living in their own world. Most don't even notice this. Do you guys ever do this? This makes me think, what she just said made me think of something. Whenever I fly, which I used to fly quite a bit. No, I have not, Barpo. It's an anxiety thing for sure, Chaotic Bleach. I used to fly. I mean, not a lot, but I mean, 4 times a year, maybe. And every time I like flying, every time I'd get up in the sky and take off and I'd have my headphones in, I'm listening to music. Um, every single time I look down from being up on an airplane, you see all the tiny houses and the tiny cars, and it looks like the thing from Beetlejuice. It looks like a little, what do they call that? Like a model. It looks like a model. And thanks, GeoPlanet Jane. And the trees look like broccoli, and none of it looks real. And I don't know about you guys. Every time I fly though, and I look down at that, I go, Jesus Christ, my problems are not that big of a deal. My overthinking is ridiculous. What I worry about other people thinking of me is absolutely insane. Every time I get that feeling when I'm up in the air and I look down at how massive, when you see the amount of homes and the ground cover, and you're like, whoa, and you see all the cars flying by, I'm like, who gives a shit? There are bigger problems. There are billions of people. And I have this one tiny little mind going, I hope what I said didn't. Who gives a shit? Christy Lynn Wilson, I apologize to you. I just do. Sorry. I don't do it very often, but what other people think of me is none of my business. It's none of my business. Yeah, don't sweat the small stuff. It's just not that big of a deal. And I love when I fly because every time I do, it puts things into perspective for me. And I'm like, oh, this is not that big of a deal. Your problems are just not that big of a deal, especially the stuff I'm talking about right here, right now. GeoPlanet Jane, that's a great point. Think how the astronauts think when they watch the Earth from the space station. I bet that's something to see. Kid opening doors. Yeah. Yeah. So that's something else. Just everybody, let's all just take a deep breath. I need to do some breathing exercises. Honestly, I'd love to do some kind of meditation, and just really take a look at, like, there are bigger problems out there. Maybe I don't need to focus on mine so much. Maybe I should try doing something else, right? For somebody else. Maybe, like, that's why I like having the friends I have now, because when I talk to people, um, and they tell me their life problems, their husbands, their kids, job, anything. It's so therapeutic for me. Bye, Kim is Blue. Have fun. I'd love to go to a yoga class with you. You didn't ask, but I would go with you because I know you privately. Hey, Julie Harris. I just went blank. Other people telling me their problems helps me a lot. I like to just sometimes sit and listen. Just sit and listen to other people's life. I wouldn't even call it problems, just their lives, just all their ins and outs of daily stuff. I wish I could do it more often. I don't have any DP in Tennessee, but it feels good to listen to other people's struggles and just their issues. It feels amazing, right? So when you look at it and zoom out like that, when you're up on a plane, it's like, wow, it's just not that serious. We're here in such a blink of an eye. It's just not that serious. And like Liz Trick said, will this be important in 2 weeks? Will this be important in 2 weeks? Will this be important to me in a year? And let's not forget, yeah, Jellycats, we are more alike than different. Most of the things that we worry about also never happen. That's why I try not to worry about stuff too much. I can get into that mindset too of overthinking. My mom the other day was like going into this, like, frazzled. She was like, don't you worry about that? What if this happens? She was like, have you thought if this happens? What if this happens? And I was like, no, I don't worry about that. I make a plan as best as I can, and then I work around that. But I can't sit around going, what if, like, that's what she was doing to me. And I was like, I don't know, because I can't control those scenarios that you're throwing out right now. My mom can sometimes get that way because she'll get overly concerned. My mom watches the news and things like that. I'm nothing against people who watch the news, but it can get her really, really like tangled up and worried. And she'll be like, they're saying this and what if? And I'm like, I'm not really sure, but I don't think like that. Even though I overthink, I don't sit around thinking, what if this happens to me? I never worry about it. So then she said to me, she goes, so you're saying, like, she goes, what if you die? And I said, then I die. And she was like, you're not worried about that. You're not worried about if you were to get run off the road by that crazy guy at the car wash. And I was like, not at all. If I die, Huxley will live with his dad. That will be awful. But like, I was just very matter of fact. I was like, so if I die, this is what will happen. I would be very sad to leave everybody, but like, what a weird thing to say. I was like, I don't know. Then I die. I'm not sure. It's so weird. Sorry, I missed a couple of comments there. Yes, I do, Yadira. It is. And Ty's channel, I'm learning so much from you verbalizing your journey, Reese. Thank you for sharing. I love you, Ty's channel. It puts everyone in a different perspective, including your own life. It's humanizing. Yes. That's the thing too. We're all like, that's why I don't really get the hate so much just in the world, because we really are like, none of us are going to be remembered of 1 or 2 generations from now. Like we are more alike than not. And it's weird how people just like want to find the differences. We actually are a lot more alike than not. And I think it would be such a good thing to not be so offended, not be so reactive. That's only I can control that about myself, but it would be amazing. I know, Muffet Lou. I think my mom just has a lot of anxiety, and she should. I understand that. But she's always, I know my dad is sick, but she's always been that way. This is not because he is sick. Yes, the sky is falling. She's always done that. And I said that to her. I said, Mom, and I think this upset her, but I said, Mom, I don't think like you do. I don't think like you do. And she said, well, I don't think like you do. And I said, no, I know. We're very different. And I've said this on my show before. We are very different. We think very differently as far as strategizing and problems. I'm not saying that she's worse. I'm just saying she thinks, her mind goes to things that mine is not. It just doesn't. Julie Harris, what's going on? Julie Harris needs advice before I sign off. What's going on, girl? Bo, what are you doing? It's not healthy, Muffet Lou, and I've said this to my mom. I think that she would, yeah, Diane McGraw, that's a great, I love Bob Seger. My mom would benefit, but she's more quiet. She's a different generation. My mom would benefit so much from talking to someone. Everybody would. That's not anybody, everybody. I believe so much in therapy. Again, therapists have the tools I don't have. You can only lean on family and friends so much. They're not professionals at dealing with stuff, heavy stuff, right? Hey, Kay Thompson. So I'm a huge believer that my mom would do, especially right now, because she is going through some heavy things with my dad. I think it would be such a treat for her to lay it on somebody in a professional way, a therapist who could help her. But I don't push that. I don't push that on anybody. That's their concern. That's their business, right? I'm not going to push that on her. When I notice I'm in my head overthinking, I focus on shifting my awareness back to being in the present moment. I'm my highest. I love that. And Kasri, I was talking about that. Was it yesterday? When I do move forward, just continuing, I definitely want to stay. It's like a muscle. I was saying staying in the present moment, not spiraling out, right? Thank you, Kasri. That's great advice. And thank you for your super chat. She's my age, and therapy has been a godsend for me, besides relatable reasons. Thank you, Muffet Lou. Yeah. Yeah, I can't tell you enough. I don't know that I would be in such the frame of mind I am without my therapist. It has helped me so much to learn new ways of thinking, unlearn things, unpack things. I suggested therapy to my mom and she got offended. Yeah, they have to be ready for it. They do. Time mark, and it's like I've said, it's telling someone to quit smoking. They have to want to do it, right? It's the same thing. I would never push that on my mom, but I do know from afar watching her how much it would help her to sit and talk to someone. It would help all of you. Hey, Melissa. Julie Harris says, my husband has found out he has a erotic root and ascending dilation and been having anxiety and panic attacks. I don't know what the root thing and the dilation thing is, but Julie, that's horrible. Especially also anxiety and panic attacks. That's rough waters there, girl. I was feeling that way today. As far as advice for you, Julie, I don't really I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I'm sorry that you're going through that. I don't know. I don't know medically what that diagnosis means for him. Again, hopefully he is seeing a doctor and hopefully there's a doctor that can help him with the anxiety and the panic part too, because that's really important. And I'm sorry, Julie, that you're going through that. And for your husband, is my mom still anti-psychiatry, anti-psychology? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't know if my mom would take a medication, but I wouldn't either. Not right now. I wouldn't be comfortable with that. So I don't know. I don't know where she stands on that. I don't even know that she'd be comfortable with a therapist. She kind of brushes that off. And again, I'm not going to push that on somebody because it's her decision to make, right? I just know from afar, watching her and listening to her, that she would benefit from it majorly, right? Majorly. And I tell her how much it helps me. Like I really let her know like how much my therapy and my therapist is really wonderful and helps me. So I recommend that for everybody. Liz says, Julie, I have a mild dilation, nothing too serious yet. Been trying to change what I'll do and lower stress. That's great advice. Thank you, Liz Tricks. Therapy is great, but most don't understand what it is. They see stuff on TV and think it's like that. That's possibly true. Yeah, that's possibly true. It's not helpful if you go into resistant for sure. You sharing your experience is huge. Yeah. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, I agree with this. Stereotyping ruins good things for many. Therapy and hospice. I agree with that. Therapy does help, old Charlie. Yeah, I highly, highly recommend it. It has helped me so much. Modeling how helpful it is to you will hopefully show her it works. And I think also, guys, and then I'm going to sign off. I think she's just going through it right now. My dad is really sick. She doesn't really have time to take care of herself. That's why I love when my mom and Huxley and I can just go out for lunch one day. It's rare, but we can do that because she needs that. She needs to get away. I need it too, honestly, but she takes no time for herself. I would love to take my mom to get a pedicure or something. Like she doesn't take the time because she's busy right now taking care of my stepdad. And bless her for that. That's incredible, right? But thank you, Julie Harris. It's just caregiver exhaustion and burnout is very real. Absolutely. Hey, Kimberly Graffius. Reese, can you do therapy Thursdays? Have therapists on to discuss healing, please. Love your channel. Longtime lurker. Thank you, babe. I would love to do that. There is a therapist that I've had on before, Elizabeth, and she has reached out to me recently. I probably will have her on again. Honestly. She's great. She has a practice in New Jersey, and that's not a bad idea. I should reach out to her. Abigail, that is so nice. Thank you. Renee B, I did. I haven't read it yet, but yes, that's a great idea. I will read that tonight. Thank you, Renee B. Abigail, thank you for gifting those memberships. I love your picture. Thank you, Abigail. That was very kind. Yeah, Michael Malloy, thank you. Guys, thank you for being here. Please hit subscribe on your way out. And Saturday, I'm going to go out with Angie Moe into downtown Nashville and stream. And I'm really looking forward to that. I've learned so much about myself watching your healing here. That is such a huge compliment. Trisha Kelly, I don't really want to do that again. It's really, really emotionally rough work. Kimberly, that's amazing. And I appreciate that. All right, guys, hit subscribe. Thank you so much for gifting those memberships, super chats, joining. I appreciate it so much. And thank you for listening to me. I'm sorry I was a little down today, but I feel better. I always do. Bye, DP, bye, Ree. I always feel better working through it with you guys. And again, your time is everything to me. The fact that you sat here for 2 hours and listened to me, I love you too, Alex. By Barpo is everything to me. It's very, very validating. And I just want to say thank you. Hey, Kimberly in Japan. So thank you. And Mods, thank you for being here. Lydia Krause, happy birthday, babe. Boomerang Beck, bye, babe. Bye, Rose. And I will see you guys tomorrow. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it very, very much. Bye, Joe. Bye, Rain. Love you guys. Here comes Fred, everybody.